should I say happy January, happy new year. I'm recording these in sort of mid to end December. I tend to get the monthlies done a few weeks before, building up to the month that I'm reading for. My Patreons get ad-free first access, and top tier patrons get discounts on services with me. There's some online courses, a book, and of course the readings. Nice card, Aries. That just popped out at me, so we're going to look at that. That's a Ten of Pentacles. That's talking about really lovely material resources coming through. I'm not going to officially pull it because we're going to tune in. This is for Aries, January 2024. I'm an intuitive reader. You're going to take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Reminding us all, you're the power in your life, not me, not the cards. Nothing has that kind of power over you. And yet we're here in my belief system to support and love one another back to a greater state of a healed wisdom or integrated wisdom, benevolence, freedom for all in a real sense, right? So, holla Shazam, my lovers, let's get into it. The Aries, divine guidance, love, and clarity for January. My Aries lovers for January 2024. What are the divine guidance messages and all the love and clarity we can muster for my beautiful Aries lovers? Thank you all so much, by the way, for being here. Thank you for your comments. It's amazing to get to know this community. Some of my really good friends have met through working in the world of YouTube land, and I just appreciate you guys a lot, so thank you so much. Divine guidance and love and clarity for Aries. Divine guidance and loving clarity. It's funny, this is a 7 of Pentacles, but all I could see was this 8. And then I'm hearing that thing of like working hard for the money. You're working hard, right? I'm saying this, taking us into, but it's not an 8 of Pentacles. I was incorrect. It's a 7. However, it is making me think there's 2 7s here, that there is a sense of determination. There's a manifestation energy, so it's not hard graft necessarily, but there is a pensive thoughtfulness. And also an intentionality with the seeds that you're planting, right? The energies that you're laying down into the soil for your future. You know, Aries, I'm getting this sense of you only need to believe in yourself. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need other people's opinions with regards or input or validation or any of that. Like, for now anyway, this reading is very sovereign. It's very autonomous. It's very much about you and your dreams, because it's the Star card. This is a bit of a wish fulfillment. Remember at the beginning there was that 10 of Pentacles. There's a sense of wish fulfillment, and also behind you, or like there's an energy in you that's like, get off my back, I'm doing this, right? It's like you're not blinded anymore. You're seeing clearly. You're like, this is the direction I want to go in. For some of you, it could have to do with investment. It could have to do with where you're going to invest your money, or even saying that where you're going to invest your attention, where you're going to invest your mental energy, certainly. So now there seems to be this direction coming through, and you're determined, you're focused. And the star energy is guiding you. That's part of that sense of determination. Get off my back. I don't need your input right now. I'm just going to focus on this. Yeah, because you got the power. You know, because you got the power. You're wanting this self-made energy. You're wanting to create this very sustainable, autonomous, and generous energy. I'm getting a clear message for some of you. You're breaking free from, I want to say hand to mouth, like hand to mouth. But it's that, well, it's very working paradigm, like working just to survive, working just to pay the bills, work, right? Just for that kind of basic, which is which is a very, 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 very dominant paradigm on this planet, right? To break free, and like often there's these sacrifices in that paradigm to achieve a certain level of comfort, and yet this is to me part of what you're manifesting, right? Followed by, guided by the star, or guided by a higher vision for your life. And it's about how to invest, yes, your resources, and or how you're working with the resources, but it has a lot to do with the mental direction, breaking out of the mental prison, as in breaking out of your own illusions, breaking out of your own fears, breaking free, etc. The Magician card is really encouraging that sense of you have the power, right? You have everything you need. So I am going to pull 3 more cards from this deck. If you guys ever want to know the decks I'm using, I can always share. Most of them have been gifted to me over the years. This Osho deck is one of my original decks that I purchased for myself over 10 years ago and started working with it. And of course, the Classical Rider Waite, this was the deck that legit appeared. It just appeared, and I was asking the universe, I think I'd like a proper tarot deck. It legit appeared with a manual, a book. And then that was kind of the beginning of the tarot career, I kid you not. So you've got the power. You have everything you need to create the life that you want. No one's going to hold you back except yourself. And there might be a bit of that. Thanks. I'm good. I got this. I appreciate your presence. Don't want your advice. But I knew that card wanted to come out. Boop, boop, boop. So this is also indicative, like it's not like you're just manifest. There is a practical action here. And I would dare say you've been working on this for 8 months, 8 years. Only because I'm seeing there's a double 7 and then there's a double 8. And to me, the double, the triple numbers when they're coming through can again be similar to the major arcana, because it's the star card and the magician. You're wishing on a star baby and you're going for it. It's like you're like, I got the power. I'm guided by the divine. I've put the work in. I've been putting the work in, and now I'm beginning to see clearly, and I'm going to believe, and I'm going to invest because what's sort of supporting or overarching I also want to say the container, what's containing all this reading is that you're gonna choose to move your money, right? Like you're gonna choose to. So if you've been sitting on something, an idea, a business, a certain amount of money that isn't so much that you're gonna go splash and spend ridiculously, but it's enough to maybe make some investments. That's where you're at. You're like, okay, I'm going to go. Because everything is like liberating itself. 8 of Swords in the reverse. Oh my God, new information. I can finally see. Okay, I've been working on this. 4 of Pentacles. No longer are you wanting to keep it close to your chest or sit on it. You're like, okay, I'm going to put this amount of pentacle here. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to invest in my business. I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to invest in my healing. Star card. Some people around you might be like, that's ridiculous. Don't do that. You're like, back off, leave me alone, but thanks anyway. This is where intuitive interpretation comes in, right? Is that, hey, what up, Scott Cicilla? This is where intuitive interpretation comes in. And thank you, by the way, some of you have reflected to me there is a bit of interest for a tarot course, so that might be something we hit up in the new year. But so what's the energy I'm getting from this is like, you're going to follow that guidance. You're going to follow that star. And there's this additional backbone energy of like, I don't know about you guys, but even being self-employed or being somebody who kind of steers your own ship, so often, and maybe too often, other people like to give the input and it doesn't feel good. But you want to be nice, or you're like, they mean well, or maybe I should take on that advice. I think this energy is telling me you've kind of learned that you're your own creator, and that other people trying to put their impression or put their advice or put their input doesn't help you manifest at this stage. So there's a part of you, this doesn't feel like, because sometimes this energy can be a negative as far as like resisting good things in our lives. Maybe that's the case, but that's not how I'm interpreting it. I'm interpreting it as you're finally choosing you, your healing, your dream, your whatever it is, right? There's a lot of money and there's mental liberation here, or there's money that you've been working on, working towards, and now you're finally getting a bit of a, I want to say a bit of a freedom break with Magician here. Plus, I did see the Phoenix. Maybe that was another reading, but that Phoenix is coming through. So here it's like, I've got this, I'm pursuing this, and anyone who tries to stand in my way, I'm just going to have to let them stay outside a certain parameter or simply not take on. Because as far as people giving us advice, some and or part of the reason we might get triggered is triggering an insecurity, because otherwise why would we ask, or why would we be even open to receiving that? Like, when it's warranted or when it's wanted, it obviously feels good. But if it's helping us to know ourselves more, as in somebody's triggering us that's never opened a business, or never been through, never, can't relate on some level, but wants to tell us how to do it, and we're like getting triggered, then that's where you just energetically, you don't have to tell the person, but you can just hold your ground and energetically be like, thanks, no thanks, bye. You just don't need to take it on, especially if it makes you feel like you have to defend yourself. Listen, the godliness of the star card energy doesn't need to defend itself. It is the healed state. It is the regenesis. It is attached and or connected to the infinite cosmos while being, they're a la nude in their birthday suit, right? In nature. You are one with the whole totality of all there is. So somebody coming along and being like, are you picking up the water? You'd be like, back the fuck up, yo. I'm praying, or I'm connected, or not that you'd have to say back the fuck up, but energetically. Another interpretation here is that this is like you protecting your energy. That's come up a fair bit, where maybe in my client sessions, possibly in some of the readings, but definitely client session work, there's a lot of like having to protect your energy. Even people that wouldn't consider themselves like sensitive particularly, but people are becoming more sensitized. So, and or people are becoming more energetically aware of vibration, aware of energies, right? And that awareness is increasing to sensitize people, so people aren't able to push through in the same way, or they just don't want to. Like, there, I certainly did grow up in this too, like all this guilt, like I feel sick, just power through, power on. Why do we do this? Like, it's a short-sighted, a fearful paradigm is a short-sighted paradigm. It's not looking at the totality, infinitude, creative. It's looking at a very kind of finite, limited reality, because it's like the perception has no roots. Anywho, let's pull a few more cards. Justice, I'm seeing. So yeah, this is big moves for Aries. The Justice card is the main one there. There you are as well. The Fire of, the King of Wands. Ooh, and that Panther energy, I'm curious. I need to look up animal totem or animal spirit panther. It keeps wanting to go up. Be mindful of messages you might receive, Aries. Messages from within. I'm more thinking from within self. This energy makes me think of having a story to share. So like that classic hero's journey of leaving the village, leaving home, leaving where you were born and raised, going on a journey, on a sojourn, and then coming back round, doing a full circle and coming back to share the tale. Like you've climbed a peak. You've climbed a mountain, and there's wisdom to share that's contained within. This is the thing, we get so wrapped up in all the physical material stuff, and I'm just thinking about how it really truly is the wisdom of our experience that is of value, not the stuff. Although the stuff, like, there's value there too, right? But I think in our world we overfixate. We seem to prioritize the external three-dimensional material reality and just pretend like the other stuff does. Spirit knew, right? Although that's obviously changing, and it's changing with great speed and momentum, isn't it? Like, astrology is more acceptable, tarot obviously is more acceptable, and more and more people are rising their energy, right? Connecting to the heart, connecting all the dots, and intuitively navigating this healing regenesis, which is just super dupes important if we ever want to live on the planet in a greater harmony, right? Without waging wars and all these things. Another Eight of Pentacles, my lovers. You've now got all three A's. As in, you've got three Eight of Pentacles from the different decks, right? Do you know what? For some of you, this big ultimate healing is a lot to do with family stuff, as is normally the case. I've shared a meme with my sister about, like, or why does it seem like we spend the latter half of our lives just healing from the first half? She was like, why couldn't it be the other way around? I'm like, I don't know. But then, it's so different. Holy Shazam. You've just got all the Eight of Pentacles, so something's changing big time. And it's something you've been working on, Aries. This isn't blindsiding out of the blue. This is like, I can see clearly now, the red is gone. You're seeing clearly, knowing you got the power, manifesting what you want. For you guys, a lot of what you want is a Ten of... Do you know what? I'm getting a funny message here. The Ten of Cups. Super joyful. Ultimate manifestation. And then Ten of Cups, to me, quite effortlessly becomes a Ten of Pentacles. Because when you have all that joyful benevolence and support system, and you're going to have the material stuff too. But for some of you, the message I'm getting is that you're still single. So I think that your work, manifest, see, clearly, wash, invest. Something's coming round. Eight's an infinity, right? Eight's an infinity symbol. Something is coming round full circle. See this little circle in the village card? You've been on a journey. You've learned. Something, spiritual. But all this is really connected to our physical reality, obviously. Full circle. This is as simple as you've gone to university and now you've graduated, and you're gonna come home and you've got all this, like, wisdom to share. Or you're gonna finally be able to do the thing that you've been training to do. You're finally making the money that you've been working on making for 8 years or however long, right? And for some of you, this is a very spiritual path. This is something that you've been, like, guided to do. And it is connected to your family history, possibly. That's this. So, and that's where the infinity loop comes in. Hala, infinity. Is that your manifestation of this Ten of Cups has to do with healing the child, healing the wounded aspects of that's never going to be possible for me for whatever reason. But I think it's like something you've been working on that's going to manifest. Some of you, I think, is manifesting like end of December into January, which could be a big change. But then whatever is manifesting for you that you've been working on is connected to you manifesting. Maybe this shift that you're having is likely to bring somebody in, or somebody that you're connected to, ends up coming into this more loving manifestation. I'm not going to put that on you guys, but I'm feeling that for some of you, you're working, healing all this stuff. All this healing is likely, pardon me, is likely to lead you to a 10 of Cups. But some of you just haven't met that special someone. Some of you haven't met that special someone. Completion energy. And the giftedness, yeah, straight up, this thing that you're working on does probably have a lot to do with your own gift, your own magic, whatever you're really good at, working, making things, maybe making jewelry, crafting pendants. I don't know, like, yeah, because some of you could legit have a shop. You might be making things and selling things online. You might have a shop that you've been working on, and suddenly new information. It's like you shift maybe where you're putting some of that energy, and then Magician, 7 of Pentacles is a manifestation for sure. This is what you've been intending to manifest. Why? Part of you wants to probably feel more powerful in your life, healing, but this is also connected to karmic healing. This is connected to familial healing. It's like full circle, yo. I just wouldn't deny the messages coming through at this point. You've woven a web, you've set the stage, you've prepared the land. Now it's time to just grow the garden kind of thing. Or speak your truth, or share the message with the world, whatever resonates, right? Powerful reading for my Aries lovers. I wasn't expecting all of those 8s to come out, so you could even look up 8888, 8888. Yeah, because we've got all 4. I've got 4 different interpretations of the classical Rider Waite, and all 4 of the 8 of Pentacles come out. So, and interestingly, two over here, this tells me that you've been physically grafting, and now things are manifesting. You're not having to work quite as hard. You're still working, but you're likely to work in a different way. You're manifesting. You're doing it more consciously from a healed place, and maybe investing some of your energy more wisely, or maybe just straight up some of you are actually getting a kickback from some investments that you forgot about. Something's coming full circle. And there's a heavy duty component here connected to your working life. The work you put in, the value. And I do feel like that's the sense of pause, or what's the expression? Delayed gratification. Right? Delayed. So working on something, and my God, especially with all these 8s and all the work and what have you, I'm thinking you've been working at this for a long while. Nothing's changed or nothing's shifted. Now there's manifestation, and now there's a recognition of your power, and now there's a sense of holy Shazam, I've healed that stuff, so I'm not going to listen to that, and I'm going to continue to stand my ground, knowing I'm healed, knowing that I'm deserving, knowing etc. And it's like you sharing your gift, or going on that hero's journey, and coming back to tell the tale and share the wisdom with your village or with your community. And the 10 of Cups in the reverse, for some of you, I do get that sense of methinks was the material stuff or some sort of dreaming thing is manifesting for you. Methinks that's where you might just open up to meet somebody, or to meet a potential life partner, kind of vibratory with the 10 of Cups. Because for some of you, I'm getting that sense of oh my God, you're right on the precipice. You're really, really opening up to manifest this 10 of Pentacle. But then I'm looking at all the other cards surrounding the 10 of Pentacle. I'm like, oh, you're on your own. You're singleton, working, manifesting, creating, healing. So for some of you, the only real blockage, and I mean, some of you might be like, yeah, that's a significant blockage when you're looking at manifesting 10 of Pentacles. You're like, 10 of Pentacles is here. I've just not met anybody. But to me, it's here because if you manifest the dream you've been working on for yonks, and you maybe to the point that you thought it wasn't going to manifest, and then these things start manifesting, it's going to renew your sense of faith that you'll meet somebody. As soon as I say that, I'm hearing just not right now, like not this exact moment, because again, this is looking at the month of January, so I'm sort of thinking you're going to be focusing on these manifestations. So if you're suddenly earning a heck of a lot more money, you're going to be having meetings with a financial advisor. You're going to be talking to your bank manager. You're going to be, setting up certain legalities, what have you, to organize and or manage the money, the income, the increase, the shift in your working life. So I doubt you're going to even have time for romance in January. But this Ten of Cups reverse is central. So I would imagine at some point, as you get reoriented to your new abundant life, that in coming months, there will likely be somebody coming in to offer that cup, or you'll offer a cup to somebody. For some of you, I'm like, I do suspect there's probably somebody here. But it's not like it's not in the upright. It's not like a proper, we're living happily ever after kind of vibe. It's not that. So yeah, a lot of you, I'm still getting that sense of like you're single, and then once you manifest this thing you've been working on for so long, I think it's gonna finally allow you to step into that ready to mingle, right? I'm single. I'm not ready to mingle because I'm too busy. So by the time you manifest the Shazam, you're going to be ready to mingle. I am hearing like by Feb, right? By February, you're probably going to be feeling a little bit more jazzed up. It's like, because there's money in the bank. This is kind of exciting, Aries. Okie dokie, there's your month of January. I'm gonna do my utmost to get through, but I can't get over how quickly this month has gone, and lots of kind of newness on some levels. And I gotta say, I really appreciate some of you guys have fed back. They're like, is everything okay? Yes. And I must say, I've not been listening to my own wisdom with regards to engaging in social media news, and I simply have overconsumed some just very, very deeply painful, troubling images to the point of like having nightmares and stuff. And so I've scaled back significantly on watching, and am doing what I can behind the scenes just to accumulate resources, donate those resources as and when I can to different organizations who are making sure and or doing their utmost to bring resolve, and also bringing food and water and some of those somewhat basic necessities that we might take for granted here, and just the atrocity of when those basic necessities get taken away from people unlawfully. It's painful, right? And so, however, in order to keep showing up here in a loving and like, present, more joyful place, I'm aware that watching that stuff that deeply is painful on so many levels. I've got to scale back and know where my heart lies, and yeah, like even as I speak about it, it's gonna take a while, I think, to sort of cleanse the impressions, because I obviously propagate not engaging with mainstream media. And when I was making Unplug for Freedom, when I was making that course, I did eventually, by the time I was making that course, I was like, oh, it's the same. You're gonna have to be really diligent and or vigilant with social media. And here we are. The images, yeah, are dire. So, it's continuing to go really deep into this resolve of peace and love and compassion, and that every single one of us deserves to be here, oppression and violence and that, just no, you know, like, no, that is not the way to solve problems, and ignorance and bigotry and, you know, gaslighting and stuff. It's just anywho, that's where I'm at with that. Mirrors, everybody. Have a wonderful month of January, my lovely Aries. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing love. I look forward to growing and prospering with all of you in January 2024, and to also continue our commitment to greater love, compassion, wisdom for ourselves, our communities, and the wider world. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you to my Patreons. You guys have really helped support myself and the brand this last year. We've had a lot of changes. Crazy, actually. And feeling new, still shedding skins, but hey ho, I think that's just the ongoing process of this life on Earth. So thanks, everybody. Have a great month, and I'll see you in January, in the new year, 2024. Merry Christmas. This is my Christmas to you, red nails. Take care, you guys, my lovers. Have a good one. See you soon.